Hello, all you goobers and geezers. My name is Gibster, and we are back for another video about designing FAKEMON. And today is a special episode because it is a collaboration with my dear friend, Pewter City Jim. And he will be making a counterpart video, which will be linked in the description of this one. I am pleased to introduce the Randomizer Challenge, and let me explain how it works. Me and Jim used a random wheel picker and a random Pokemon generator. Basically, the wheel picker had categories like hidden ability, type, 2 abilities, 2 biology notes, a dex fact, evolutionary stages, evolution method, and an appearance detail. Each detail has been taken from a Pokemon given by the random generator, and here's the catch. Since we did this for each other, we have no idea what Pokemon they come from, and we'll record our first reactions to them, which is why I urge you to check out Jim's POV, link in the description. Please like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into the designs. Many of the details I had just gave me some extra stuff like the abilities being oblivious and harvest. However, the hidden ability being good as gold and the type given being grass started to push me in some sort of direction. Inspired by Greek origins, I immediately turned to the guardian of the golden apples, Ladon. Ladon was a dragon in Greek mythology who guarded the golden apples in the garden of the Hesperides. Originally, the Hesperides themselves guarded the apples, but they kept picking them. And so, the goddess Hera placed an immortal guardian, a 100-headed, never-sleeping dragon named Ladon. So, fused Ladon with the apples its guards, and while this could make for an awesome apple in evolution, it would mean that I would go against the type and evolutionary stage prompts. I made the first stage Apicon coming from Apple and Anaconda. It is a simple snake design with some cute features and big cheeks, which will be explained in the dex entry. Apicon, the fruit carer Pokemon, a pure grass type. Apicons spend majority of their days curled up around a golden fruit, one so rare that an Apicon will do just about anything to protect it. If anyone comes near it, it will let out a loud, high-pitched sound, imperceptible to humans and most Pokemon, to call in other members of its species to defend its treasure. If someone does manage to take the fruit from an Apicon, it will fall into a deep depression, wandering the lands without a purpose. I want to thank Esper Blocks for designing the new Dex page and for my friend Plub Call for making the Dex entries for me. Thanks, guys. The evolution method I got is to level it up to level 28, and it'll evolve into Golden, coming from Ladon and Golden. I took the 100-head description and gave it 2 extra heads that dangle from branches like an apple. I took inspiration from other mythical snakes like Jormungandr from Norse mythology, using the design from God of War to inspire the face of Golden. I also used the hood of a king cobra to add an intimidating and imposing size to the head, as well as adding ear-like extensions per a biology detail given to me by Jim. And now, here is the evolution. Golden, the golden guardian Pokemon, a pure grass type. Now producing its own fruits, Golden no longer spends its time worrying over the one golden fruit it had found long ago. In fact, it cares so little about its own fruit that it will use its fiery breath to make them so hot they can be used as deadly projectiles. The power contained within a Golden is so immense that it can barely hold it back from expelling outwards, causing many cracks to appear along its skin as the power within threatens to escape. And well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This two-stage line was created from the prompts given to me by Jim. As I said, we had absolutely no idea which Pokemon we chose for each other, so now here is the unscripted reaction to the Mons he randomly chose for me. Alright, just going through our Discord messages. First off is the hidden ability, which is good as gold. I mean, can only come from one Pokemon, right? And yup, that came from Goldango. Next up on the list is the grass type, which he got from Bounsweet. Very much a coincidence that they ended up being two fruit slash berry themed Pokemon there. But I suppose what else could you do with the grass type? The ability Harvest came from Smoliv. Now, I don't pay attention to competitive stuff like abilities, so I didn't know Smoliv had that. I don't even know what the ability Harvest does. The biology detail, when it fires these attacks at full power, the sheer force of the blast creates multiple cracks on its body. And that comes from Gigalith. Ooh. I suppose that is very interesting. Of course, the cracks on its body, I suppose, coming from its rocky body. But of course, I translated that into the crack patterns on a tree. It's very interesting how that translated there. The Pokédex fact, by vibrating its cheeks, it emits sound waves imperceptible to humans. It uses the rhythm of these sounds to talk. And that comes from Timpole, the first stage of Seismitoad, I believe. Just a little headphone tadpole. Now that is something that I did not know. I also did not know that the little headphones were cheeks, apparently. The last biology detail, the ear-like extensions on its head are longer and have tips with 2 points. And that came from Mega Mawile. I wouldn't really call the hair ear-like extensions unless he's talking about something else. Oh yeah, Mega Mawile has little ear things underneath the hair mouths. Alright, yeah, I can see that they have the 2 prongs on them. Of course, I turned them into tree branches that house the other heads of the Mon. The evolution method to level it up to level 28 came from Machop, which you can see had absolutely no influence on the design whatsoever. I honestly did expect it to come from something weaker, or weaker looking, at least. But I didn't know Machop took that long to evolve into Machoke. The 2 stages came from Nickit. The Galar Pokemon I will always remember as the one that should have been a fire type. The random appearance detail, sulk markings on its feet. That comes from Mightyena. And finally, the last ability, Oblivious, comes from Swinub. Honestly thought that would have come from Quagsire or something. And then again, I don't even know if Quagsire has the ability Oblivious. It looks like it should. So, unlike your one, unfortunately, I couldn't come up with that clever thing you did. Um,
Okay,
so I only have 2 designs.
that's fine.
So here is the first one.
Oh my gosh. Look at this little guy, Apicon, the fruit. Oh, wow. That's cool. The fruit carer Pokemon. Okay.
So basically, the way Apicon works is that it loves picking and eating berries that are based on apples, and because it does this, it looks like an apple, just sort of you are what you
Okay.
eat type of thing. Has
Right.
a, the skin of an apple as well. So the name comes from apple and anaconda.
Got you. So he's a little snaky
And
boy.
yeah, so basically. Um, this one, as it says, it's the fruit carer Pokemon. It really loves its berry, sort of like how a koala loves the log that it has, and that it will become very distressed if it's separated from its little berry.
Okay. Oh, that's all. That's adorable. I like that.
And sort of, I gave it a little mischievous smile. I based it on quite a few mythical snakes. You might be able to guess what one is the main inspiration from the color of the berry that it's holding.
Oh.
And then,
No. I would have suggested maybe the world serpent because it's kind of wrapped around it.
so that was part of the inspiration for the
Mm-hmm.
pose. And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I did actually base the shiny on some interpretations of its color, the
Okay.
world serpent.
Got you. That's cool. I like it.
And of course, so it can release high-pitched sounds as well that
Mm-hmm.
humans and some other Pokemon can't hear, but it's how they communicate with each other. So they are more, not like yours. They like to form packs and stuff. They like to
Got you.
sing.
I like how it's got like big round cheeks, kind of like mine did.
Um, all right, so are you ready for its evolution?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, so here is the evolution.
What? Oh my gosh. Okay. That
So the
face
apples have
is
sort
terrifying.
the apples have sort of become part of its body now.
Okay. Oh
Um,
yeah, I
and they've
see that.
become and they've become extra heads.
Wow. So it's got kind of like an executor thing going on there. Okay. I love
Yeah,
the cobra hood made out of like a big wedge of apple or a couple wedges of apple. That's cool.
yeah. And then of course you've also got a couple wedges around the body and of course the skin going down the top of the tail as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a fire type, obviously, because that would have sort of broken the
Mm-hmm.
rules of the challenge, but it can learn fire type moves.
Yeah.
Um, and I suppose it's sort of because a lot of meals with apples, you would sort of heat them up,
Right,
like
like apple
crumbles and
pie, crumble, fritters.
yeah.
Yeah, got you.
So what it does is it'll actually bite the heads off of its branches, and it'll then heat them up in its mouth and fire them off
Oh my
like a
gosh.
blast attack.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Wow.
the thing is, it's not able to contain this, so that's what all the cracks are on its wooden body.
Okay. It can't hold in that energy.
Yeah.
Got you. Oh, well, that's fantastic.
So the name, so it's called the Golden Guardian Pokemon. Its name is Goladen from Golden and Laden from Greek mythology, the guardian of the Garden of the Hesperides, which contain the tree of the golden apples.
Oh, got you. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the Greek mythology stuff as you. So that would be why I probably missed that reference in the earlier form. But now that you mention it, I totally see it. That's cool. And especially with the shiny of this one, too.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Way to go, man. I love these.
And then, as I said, I base it on lots of other different mythical serpents as well, like the Jormungandr from Norse mythology. And then, of course, the very mischievous smile. I sort of thought this one's more similar to the Garden of the Hesperides because it includes a snake, a garden, and not exactly an apple, but people think it's an apple. But I made the mischievous smile based on Lucifer.
Oh, yes. Okay, I got you. Yeah,
So this is a more
tempting people to
menacing
eat the
Pokemon.
fruit
Like,
of knowledge.
don't
Yeah.
trust. Come and bite this apple on my branch. Oh, all right. Nom, it bites you.
Well, that's fantastic.
It's like
I love that. That's really great.
just ignore the teeth on these little berries. Just eat them.
Yeah.
Ignore the teeth.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
They're
kind of
they're not.
I see it. I absolutely see it. That's cool.
I recommend checking out Jim's site to see what mons I gave to him and what he made with those details, since again, uh, they are not influencing the designs whatsoever. And these are only just interesting facts, really. Just something we threw together. I hope to see you guys in the next video, as it is completely unrelated to FAKEMON. So I have a question for the channel regulars. Have you heard of A Journey into the Endless Void? With that all out of the way, I've been Gibster, and I will see you all in another life.